Hi, LA Captivilla, and welcome to Together We Could Do It. In today's lessons, we're going to be talking about some of the do's and don'ts, some of the major ones, all right, that in the short time that I've been in the network marketing business that I've learned not to do. The first one is there's absolutely no quitting. You didn't spend your money making investment in this business to a month down the road, things that may not be going the way you think they ought to be going, and suddenly you quit. Winners don't quit. All right, it's all a matter of perspective. All right, it reminds me of the story of Jose Adon, which is the highest paid Hispanic in network marketing. He's in OrganoGold, and this guy makes seven-figure incomes, mid-seven-figure incomes in OrganoGold in just a short 4 years. He tells the story that he grew up in Honduras, and him and his father were farmers, and that they would plant coffee plants. And when you plant a coffee plant, it was not known knowledge that it would take 3 years for the first harvest. It wasn't even the biggest harvest, it was just the first harvest. But in the process of those 3 years, you still had to water the plant, you had to weed the plant, you had to nurture the ground, you had to take care of it until the harvest came. The thing that was for sure was that the harvest would always come. And your perspective is that there will be a harvest for you. You will have a harvest if you don't quit. Sometimes we invest time and money and we quit and we never reach success. Okay? You can know that if you follow the OrganoGold 18 months system, okay, and follow it without having to try to invent your own ways, you will have success. So what happens is there's absolutely no quitting because you're going to remember the why you came into this business. All right, that why plays a very important part. You came into this business because you wanted to fire your boss. You want to make sure that you don't retire on $700 to $1,000 a month. Okay, you want to make sure that you never have to answer to a man when you could have lunch and when you could go on vacation, when you could go to a doctor's appointment, or that you'll never have to tell your kids that you can't afford it again. You got to remember that. Okay, so another thing that I suggest that you don't do in this type of business is that of not texting the whole business to your friends. Let me tell you my story. When I first came into this business, I spent several days calling people on the phone, getting ready for my launching event. Now, if you know me, you would know that I don't call a lot of people. For years, I haven't called a lot of people. I'm surrounded by hundreds of people every day, and clients and people wanting my attention. So in my phone, I have a contact list of thousands of people, but I don't call them. I only call when I need you for whatever reason. If I see you in a party, I'm going to love on you and you're going to be my best friend, but on a daily basis, it's impossible for me to be friends with hundreds of people. So what happened was I would place these phone calls, and suddenly, because I hadn't talked to these people for a long time, they wanted to talk about how was the family, and how was mom, and how was my brother, and how was church, and how was this. And when I came to know, I looked at the clock, an hour had gone by, and I was spending a whole hour, okay, on the phone. So, which you need to invite people, but when you call people, you need to tell them, look, I'm in a hurry, all right? I'm in the midst of the biggest opportunity of my life, but I can't talk to you right now. I just need you to trust me. I need you to be at this event, okay? And I'll see you then. I'll explain to you then. And that way you make it quick. Well, I didn't know those principles. That's a come, okay? I'm spending time with you now. That way you can learn from the things that I didn't know at the time when I joined. But again, what happened to me was I became a success overnight in OrganoGold. In 2.5 hours, became a sapphire, whatever. And I decided that I didn't want to keep calling people because, I would have to spend a lot of time with them. So what did I do? I made up a text, very juicy with all the details, and I sent it out to hundreds of contacts. And guess what I did? I took away the curiosity factor. that would have brought in a lot more people had I not done that. Why? Because a lot of times when you confront people and you tell them it's a coffee business, they're not going to understand because they haven't seen the presentation, they haven't seen the fact, they haven't seen the full explanation of the company, why the company works. So they automatically turn you off. So what happened is I text all this information to them thinking that they would get excited, and I gave them too much information. Okay? Do not make that mistake of texting people the complete business presentation without them coming to the meetings. Now, if you're inviting somebody that's not in your town or not in your state, you might have to lead them to OG Show, cupoffreedom.com, or some of these websites so they can determine whether they want to join or not, or some of the presentation calls that OrganoGo has. Now, another thing that you don't do is that of turning off your auto ship. I can't stress that enough. All right, and I've said that a couple times. There's been tremendous amount of people that they turn off their auto ship, whether $50 or $100, and thinking they're just getting started. But suddenly, here comes somebody, all right, that joins their team, and they may bring 5, 6, 7 people. And 10 people, in my case, I brought in, dozens of people. All right. Luckily, the guy that brought me in had his auto ship on, and he made thousands of dollars. Well, you never know where the blessing is coming from. All right. That's the signs and wonders that will appear in this business. Okay. Another thing that you don't do is make claim about this coffee concerning the Ganoderma. Now, we know that you could Google Ganoderma and you find 5 million links to Ganoderma, okay? But we don't make claims that it heals anything, even though there's thousands of testimonies of people that have reported how Ganoderma has helped them health-wise. Now, you don't do that. You don't make any claims. All right, number 5, you don't make any claims of guarantee of success. Okay, you don't make any guarantee of success. Even me in my presentation to you, I've told you, look, you can be successful, but you got to have to apply the system. You're going to have to apply yourself into gaining that entrepreneurship mentality and spirit to become a success. Do you have success in you? Absolutely, you do. Did I guarantee you success? No guarantee. But the possibility is there that you can be a success if you join OrganoGo. Another thing that you don't do is mention facts and figures as far as how many people made. You could use, hey, here's a person that is making 5 figures, 6 figures, 7 figures, but you can't tell them, okay, that this person is making $7 million a year, okay, because it has to do with security, so forth and so on. Okay. Another thing that you don't do is talk negative. All right. In this business, you got a lot of negativity as it is because it's multi-level and network marketing. So let's say you invite somebody to one of the events, one of the weekly events, and the meeting went a little bit too long, and the meeting, maybe you didn't like the speaker, and here you have 2 or 3 guests, and you start making negative comments of, gee, it was too long and I didn't like that speaker. And then all the people around you that you invited are hearing you speak. And that does not create a winning atmosphere and a winning attitude. All right. You keep it to yourself. And if there's anything to be said, you say it to your upline and let them deal with it. Okay. Another thing that you don't do is that of buying internet leads. Let me tell you why. Most of the times you find these companies that will sell you leads, all right, of people that are wanting to get into home business or network marketing, but they're not qualified leads. For all you know, they're wanting to get into health products or beauty products or whatever it could be, and you're going to waste your time and money. All right, that doesn't mean that if you find a company that will guarantee you quality leads and the niche that you're looking for, okay, then you could buy leads. And again, you're going to have to make cold calls and so forth and so on. All right, one of the things that we're going to be teaching, and together we can make it, is how to do some internet marketing, attraction marketing, so forth and so on. Okay, now another thing that you don't do is that, or you have to do, is overcome your fear. All right, in this business, fear in your mind, all right, we'll talk about that down the road a little bit. It's one of your greatest enemies. Okay, fear to tell people about the product. And the truth of the matter is, you don't have to open your mouth much in OrganoGold. All you got to do is ask the 4 questions and give away the coffee with your label on it. Okay, or get people's numbers if you can, so you could call them back. But one of the things that I heard Houghton Buggs speak about, Mr. Buggs said that in this business, sometimes you got to eat the crust before you can eat the inside. Okay, you got to get past. I know in my case, sometimes it was hard telling people that, being a successful businessman, that I got into coffee, that I got into, sachet coffee. All right. The truth of the matter is, you don't have to be ashamed of this, because this has produced more money for more people. It has turned more family around that we could even talk about. But the truth of the matter is, you got to overcome fear. This is a leadership development as well. You develop as a leader. There's qualities that you overcome. You learn what to use and what not to use, and what presentation to make to a businessman, and what presentation to make a person that's novice and wanting to start this business. Okay, but remember that the why of what you're doing this has to be bigger, all right, than your fear. All right, I want to fire my boss. I want a bigger paycheck. I want to be able to travel. I want to be able to do meaningful things. That why has to be greater than your fear. Okay. Another thing that you don't do is very simple. Do not get tied up in the details. Some people want to know, well, how many calories and what are all the things inside in Ganoderma. It's coffee, for heaven's sake. You don't need to know all the details. All you just need to know that it's coffee, and it's good coffee. It's organic, gourmet, and has Ganoderma. And for heaven's sake, don't get bogged up in, simple details that so often, gets you distracted from the real issue here, and that's making money. Another thing is, remember, do not give away coffee without labels on it, because you'll be wasting your money. If you just give away coffee, all right, especially in an event where people don't know you, they won't know how to get in contact with you. Now, some of the things that you do want to do is get educated and trained. Okay? Everything that you're going to be trained and educated here, all right, it will help you in your business. It will help you in any business. It's some of the things that you got to learn. Okay? You got to follow the system. Not part of the system, the whole system. It's important that you learn that principle. The system has to be followed in order to work for you. Another thing that you got to do is make sure you make all the meetings, weekly meetings in your hometown. And number 4, that you make all the events. All right. In OrganoGold, we have events in different parts of the nation. All right. I've been to the one in Houston. I've been to the one in New York. I've been to the one in Orlando. I've been to the one in Atlanta, and they're all life changing. Why are they life changing? Because in these events, all these people that have made it to diamond status come, and for 20 minutes they share their principles, they share their experiences, they share the part of the system that has made them successful, and it's inspiring. In fact, these events are a great place to grow, not only as a person, but also to grow as a team. I met some people that they took it upon themselves, and they took 40 to 50 people to these events. I ended up signing 40 of them, and that person became a ruby overnight, became an emerald overnight. Why? Because they took enough people to the events that saw the demonstration of this company and the leadership of this company and what it's able to do, that people just signed up. So it's one of the things that I have learned. Make the meetings, make the events, follow the system, and get ready, all right? Make sure that you spend a lot of time preparing yourself. Watch that email that's going to be coming every morning with inspirational and instructions and giving you schedules of some of the things that are going to be happening. So, as we say here at Get Together, together we can do it. All right, I'll see you at the top.